So this film initially was a short, right? And can you take us back to how that first, the idea of it, even as a short, first came to you, and were all of you involved as far back as that, or was it the feature that brought you together?
Sure. Yeah. I had my Uncle Frank. Always told this story at family gatherings about he and my other two uncles setting fire to my grandfather's Jeep when they were little, and sort of the aftermath of when my grandfather came home to all this mass destruction. And it was just always a fun little tale that he would tell, and I wrote a little 6-7 page script kind of based off of that. And I hadn't made anything. I had been writing a lot and hadn't made anything in a while. And I teach at the University of Texas in Austin, and my kids are on set every weekend making something. And I'm like, why am I not doing that? So I pulled the script out, and I called up Kelly, who was just leaving the Austin Film Festival, and was like, hey, I have this project. Do you want to go hang out on the playground this summer and make something with our friends? So we had no expectations whatsoever. We were just wanted to get back out and play and make something. And then after a 3-day shoot, summer of 2011, I just loved these characters, this father struggling with these hell-raising boys, and wanted to live with them longer and see kind of what brought them to such dysfunction, to this place. And someone on set said, I think that this world lives in Port Arthur, Texas, Southeast Texas, Beaumont area. And then Kelly piped in with,
oh, I'm from there.
So he started, literally a week or two after we wrapped the short, took me down to visit that area. And it's, it's so stunningly cinematic. I mean, you see refineries everywhere, and at night it's just all lit up like Oz. It's really just striking, and I hadn't seen it on screen outside of maybe Urban Cowboy. And I just fell in love with the place, and I just started literally sitting in barbershops, listening to refinery workers coming in and out, sitting at Larry's French Market, having the buffet with everyone that lives there, eating alligator for the first time, and just sort of kind of soaking up the world and the people, and location really inspired the movie.
The short played in 2012, and Kelly and I had a film at Sundance in 2013, and he had gone through the Sundance Producing Lab. So literally we were in Park City and thinking that we really wanted to have Hellion there the next year, if we could make it happen. So we just knew that we had kind of had to grab each other and move forward. And to do that, we had to find the resources, and that was a challenge. It was, I don't know, do we want to say the film?
No, probably not, but but it was super low budget.
Working around
you were working around it. And we shot it in 26 days, which was so fast, with particularly having minors on every day of the set. Every day there was. Josh, I think, had 1 day off the whole shoot.
And is there something they can only work a certain number of hours a day or something
right.
like that?
Yeah, there is that. But it was shooting in the summertime and then trying to share the film with the deadline that Sundance sets in order to be eligible. And then, because we had this grant from the San Francisco Film Society, we got to go to Skywalker. And so we were all there together. Mm-hmm. And Kat left directly from San Francisco to go directly to Sundance with a copy of the film in her hand.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You always hear those stories, and it was like, oh, we actually did that story.
Yeah,
she, it was handcuffed to her, to her briefcase. But no.
Well, I would obviously be remiss if we didn't talk about the casting of this, because on the one hand, it must have been pretty exciting to get people who are really established, like Aaron Paul, like Juliette Lewis, but also, if you didn't find such a talented kid to play the main part, you don't have a movie no matter whoever else is in it. So can you just let us know in what sequence the cast came together? And because I guess one thing I wonder is whether chemistry with Aaron Paul was tested before you cast Josh. So let me.
Yeah, we our Texas casting director worked on The Tree of Life, and So we kind of took the approach that those guys took in going into small towns with permission and kind of sitting in cafeterias and watching all of these boys and getting a real kind of sense of their personalities, and then sending home letters to parents and getting them to come in and audition. And when I say audition, it was really just kind of sitting there and talking to them and kind of getting to know them a little bit, and then, you know, improving a scene or two and see how the stretch of their imagination. And we also did the same thing with motocross races. We went all across the state of Texas and went to all of these races, which was both beautifully informative for the story and the script, and then, yeah, finding all these other kids. And I think we started that process like around mid-April. We went out to Aaron, I want to say end of April. I think we kind of had him attached by early May, but I was scouting boys for a really long time. I mean, 2/3 of the battle of getting a great performance from a kid is in the casting and really being patient with seeing all of these boys. One of our kids came from Port Neches, where we shot the movie. It was the very first audition that we did. We'd seen like 100 kids. Dalton Sutton, who plays Lance, and then Cameron Owens came from the very first motocross race that I went to. And Deke Garner, the youngest boy, was in the short film. He was the lead in the short. Dylan, the redhead, came from just general talent agencies. And then Josh, our friend Summer Shelton, who was in the producer's lab with Kelly, she was producing a movie called Little Accidents at the same time, which was at Sundance as well, and a great, great film. So they were looking for 14-year-old Southern boys as well, and she was interested in a boy from our short film, started researching him online, and found all these YouTube videos he made with his best friend, Josh Wiggins. Called us up, and it was like, there's something really special about this kid. And, I mean, even though you're watching, like, Bad Detective, where they're in the backyard and the pool and, like, little cowboy hats and fake guns, there was something really flawless and easy about him in front of the camera and very natural. And when I brought him in, it was just like, you know, the heavens opened up and you've seen, like, all these kids, and this kid is just so, like, strikingly authentic. So he went through several rounds of auditions, but in that moment when he walked in the room, it was just like you knew in your gut, like, this is my kid. And then I brought him out later kind of in the process to meet with Aaron, and then it was like doubly sure. Like when I got them in the room, it was I remember just like turning around to my casting director with like this huge smile on my face, being like, this is my family, and there's something really magical going on here.